Hello, aspirants. We are covering very important concepts for UPSC geography, the El Nino and the La Nina. Let us start with the basics. We have here a boiling pot of water. What do we see? There is hot water, and that results in steam rising. So, air actually rises. When there is warm water, air around it will rise. Let's compare this to an ocean scenario where there is a warm current and this results in air rising and creating a low pressure area. So, our first lesson is wherever there is warm water, air will rise and form low pressure. This low pressure does not strictly remain over the ocean, obviously, it will also reflect in the nearby lands as well. Now we have a ice bucket creating high pressure. Just the opposite. There is an ocean, there are cold currents flowing. This will result in falling air packets, creating a high pressure zone. So, our lesson number two is wherever there is cold water, air will fall and form high pressure. Your El Nino La Nina is just a combination of the two. See what is happening in Australia. There is an East Australian current, a warm current. This creates a surface low pressure with some amount of rainfall happens because of the surface low pressure associated with the boiling pot of water. Now, South America, a cold current flows up, intensifying the high pressure. There are no rains but a falling column of air associated with the bucket, ice bucket. So there will not be rain but an intensified high pressure. So, what happens when they meet? There is a low pressure area and there is a high pressure area. The winds from high pressure area will rush towards the low pressure region. This results in an oscillation. Now, winds from low pressure area will rise, move, and fall over the high pressure region. Now, let's get to the Southern Oscillation. You have seen what oscillation was. Now, let's go to the Southern Oscillation. In a normal scenario, there is low pressure over Australia, as we saw, and high pressure over Peru region of South America. Winds rise in Australia. Some amount of rain happens. One branch of this wind flows over a high pressure region over Africa, close to Madagascar. The other branch goes and falls over Peru. This increases the high pressure, and strong trade winds just rush from Peru region to Australia region over the Pacific Ocean. These are very strong trade winds. These are called the Southern Oscillation. This is a normal Southern Oscillation. Something is also happening within the ocean. Yes, do remember that this direction is called east to west. Always the winds flow east to west in a normal scenario. Below the ocean, this line is called the thermocline line. Ocean water is also carried away by the trade winds. So, water from below the ocean has to move up to fill up the gap. This is called upwelling. Now, what happens in El Nino Southern Oscillation? You've seen what Southern Oscillation is? El Nino, what happens is the entire Southern Pacific Ocean region, which you can see in this globe here, warms up. You see, entire region is in red. So something drastic is happening. It's warming up. Now, everything will be reduced or in a weakened state. I'm telling you practically. The low pressure region is reduced, coming closer to a high pressure region. And same thing happens over Peru. There is always a high pressure, but this time there is somewhat a low pressure region, resulting sometimes in rainfall as well over the Atacama deserts. So the wind moves up from Peru, falls over Australia. Now, the trade winds are extremely weakened, and in big El Ninos, they in fact change their direction. It is called reversed oscillation. And unfortunately, downwelling happens over the coast of Peru. So, this El Nino results in weakened Indian monsoon, lower kharif crop yields, rise in food inflation, stress on drinking water supply in India, droughts in Australia, Indonesia, Southeast Asia. Why? Because there are no rains. They are used to rains. And rainfall in western coast of North South America. Why? Because they're not used to rains. They're getting rains. In La Nina, something exactly opposite to El Nino happens. Now, in El Nino, everything was warming up. Look at the globe here. What is happening in the Pacific Ocean? It is cooling up. It is getting cool. There are hardly any red things here. So, over here, everything intensifies. In El Nino, everything is reduced. In La Nina, everything is intensified. The rains in Australia will be massive thunderstorm rains. There will be an increased, intensified low pressure and intensified high pressure over Peru. The winds falling over Peru will be huge, will be massive. The trade winds will not just be very strong, will not strong trade winds, it will be very strong trade winds. Even the upwelling will be of a massive scale. Everything intensifies. So, what happens in La Nina? Strengthens the southwest monsoon, like our year 2025 was a La Nina year. It was favorable for kharif crops. Positive impact on rural demand. Flood related damages happens. And heavy rainfall in Australia, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and even India. Compare both and take a screenshot of this. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching and please subscribe to our channel.